He is author of the book, The Emotional Calendar, and joining us on her birthday, mind you, attorney Janet Johnson joins us via Skype. Janet, thanks for being with us. Janet, let me start with you. Were you surprised at this? Let me read just a little bit of what the judge said. We'll get your take on it. And he's talking about J. Howard Marshall's son, Pierce, who's since passed away, but basically saying his conduct was bad conduct. It was too pervasive. It was egregious. And despite the fact that he's passed away, it would promote disrespect for the authority of the federal courts to turn a blind eye to the actions that so willfully and blatantly attempted to make a mockery of the justice system. So because of that, little Dannielynn could get $49 million. Does it surprise you that a judge would go retro like this and get the money to this little girl?
Well, to the little girl and probably also to lawyers. I mean, let's not forget that they're going to be lawyers that are probably owed a lot of money in bills, and that's part of why I think he's doing this. But the Supreme Court of the United States, this went all the way to the Supreme Court, had shot down $475 million, which this girl would have gotten, which Nicole said was promised to her, and the son fought tooth and nail and obviously was a little underhanded in that fight. And I think it's great that the judge is basically saying, look, you guys are billionaires. I mean, he was worth over $1 billion, and you went to these measures to cheat and lie to deprive this woman of what she said was promised to her. So you may win the battle, but you might lose at least a small war.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you just mentioned it there. This estate, estimated value $500 million on the low end, $1 billion on the high end. So again, billionaires potentially, to your point, Janet. So on the other side, Dr. Sharp, how do you make sure that this is a good thing? Certainly the headline says it is, $49 million to Larry Birkhead and his little girl, Dannielynn. But how do you make sure money and fame, she's already a guest model, doesn't get the best of both of them?
Mike, you're suggesting that money doesn't buy happiness, is that right?
Maybe a little bit.
Well,
even though a lot of people like to test the waters on that.
You know, it doesn't, unfortunately, but it can provide her the means to offset some of the negative potential of either her genetics or the fact that she doesn't have her mom or the fact that, you know, the entertainment industry and modeling can lead you in the wrong direction. You know, hopefully her dad and other protectors of her can maybe give her a little sense of what her mom was about in terms of the modeling, but not encourage her to go that way herself. Encourage her to have nice, normal friends and do well in school and play a sport and all those things that can come together to help someone have a normal life.
Yeah. Hey, Janet, just your take on that. I mean, $49 million to this little girl who is already a model, and she's an adorable little girl, just 6 years old. Your thoughts on what's going on in her life right now?
Right. And, you know, I think the court will structure it so that they're just not going to hand her a check for $49 million and say, go to FAO Schwartz and, you know, have a field day. It would be structured in a way that she would not have access to the bulk of it until she's 18 years old. They would probably appoint a guardian ad litem who would make sure that, you know, Larry Birkhead, who seems to be doing a fantastic job. I mean, by all accounts, he's raising this little girl in a beautiful way. We haven't seen her, which I think is a good thing. She hasn't been out in the limelight that much. But he wouldn't get access to all of the money. She would be protected to make sure that the money is there when she needs it and when she can handle getting that money.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. By all accounts, Larry Birkhead is doing a very good job, you know, and thank God for that. Speaking of Larry Birkhead, let's rewind the clock a little bit, guys. Let's listen to him when the ruling went his way. And again, he and little Dannielynn were starting their lives together. Here's Larry Birkhead.
I hate to be the one that told you this, but I told you so. Thank you very much.
When do you get custody?
You know, there's certain things that I can't talk about, but this is one that I'm happy to talk about, and my baby's gonna be coming home pretty soon. So.
There you go, and they started their life and been going pretty well ever since. Here's the quote. Now, back in November, you know, some had questioned, hey, Larry Birkhead, are you sure you want your little girl modeling for guests? Here's the way he answered that, and I'll get both of you to weigh in on it. He says, Dannielynn has always looked up to her mom's image and said, Mom's an angel. He went on to say, I think that this is kind of Dannielynn's way of paying tribute to her mom in a special way, to see her mom's picture next to hers as a guest girl and say, hey, I was a guest kids girl, my mommy was a guest girl, and that might be her only connection with her mom. Dr. John Sharp, is that a healthy way to look at things here?
I like it. I like it. And, you know, actions speak louder than words. So like we were saying before, he's really kept her out of the limelight, maybe except for this. So if this is the exception to the rule, I think it can be a good thing. Absolutely.
Janet, your thoughts on that? Again, you know, he's pretty strong in that this could be a connection between Dannielynn and her late mom.
Yeah, and you know, I think that if there's a 6-year-old girl who's going to do this, or 5 at the time, why shouldn't it be her? And quite frankly, I don't know what kind of financial situation she left them in. She obviously had her own career, but they had a lot of legal bills to fight this. I mean, to fight a case like this all the way to the Supreme Court is not cheap. He may also be making some money, which I don't know that we can fault him on that either. If he gets this chunk of money, maybe he'll take her out of that career for a little while until she might be old enough to decide how she wants to tribute her mom. She's a little young to pay tribute to anybody, I think.
Well put. This was Dad talking, but I think that's his hope anyway at this point. You know, we're going to continue our conversation. A lot of people we've talked to, even some of the early callers, pretty positive about what's going on right now, and I think that's a good thing. But is anybody concerned out there? Dannielynn getting $49 million. She's a model for Guess at age 6. Are you concerned at all? Call me up, 1-877-TEL-HLN.